Amazing. So, guys, this will be the opportunity for you guys to ask me any questions about anxiety, anything at all, and I will answer them, right? So, the title of this is I Healed Anxiety in 6 months, and there's a reason for that, and I want to try and help you guys do the same. So, thoughts on the book 48 Laws of Power? Okay, so the 48 Laws of Power is a great book. It's not really anxiety related, but it's useful if you're like a people pleaser or you're in toxic relationships and you feel manipulated. It's very useful to know when someone's manipulating you and if someone's gaslighting you, someone's being toxic to you. It gives you the tools to understand and notice that in real time in your human interactions. And when you have anxiety, you are a people pleaser and you don't set boundaries and you just kind of let people walk all over you and just give yourself away. So the book is useful in understanding that, if that makes sense. Alright? Okay, thank you for the likes, Jasmine, by the way. And thank you for the likes again, Eamon. So in this session, until people start asking more questions, I want to actually give you guys on tools on how to actually meditate and how to actually be mindful, right? So this is sort of the processes that people go through when they first start noticing their mind and their anxiety. So I bet when you actually have anxiety, whether you have physical symptoms, whether it's racing thoughts, whether it's palpitations, whether it's dizziness, whether it's panic attacks, whatever it is, as soon as you feel that slight sensation that signals that your body is in fight or flight, guess what happens? You go right into your mind, and then you go right into fear, and then you start teaching yourself that your body is actually not safe. Mindfulness is when you notice those thoughts as it happens, and you catch it as it happens, so you don't go into fight or flight. Alright, Holly, I struggle with not knowing the difference between anxiety and medication side effects. Okay, so really good question, and Rochelle feels the exact same. So let's talk about anxiety side effects, common side effects, right? So you get racing thoughts, you shake, you can get digestive issues, you get dizziness, palpitations, panic attacks. What do the side effects of medication give you? Very similar if it goes wrong. Very similar if your body has a negative reaction to it. So a good way to do it is to actually feel into your body, right? Your body knows better than any other medication. Your body knows better than what your perception of what your anxiety is. So here's like, it's a really good question, but the fundamental thing is, does it matter? Like, you're having the side effects anyway. And like, if you read the side effects of a medication before you actually take it, you're more likely to get the side effects as well. Like a lot of these medications, some of them work, I'm not even talking about anxiety medications right now. I'm just talking about in general. A lot of the reason why certain medications work is simply because of placebo. You read that a medication takes away your headaches, and your headaches might go away just from you believing that, right? So if you look at the side effects of medication and then you believe that it will happen, then you will subconsciously manifest those symptoms. The same way if you told, like, there's studies on this, like people with gluten intolerances, people with celiacs, they told them that the food they're about to eat doesn't have gluten in them, and they believed that, and they ate the food, had no allergic reaction, even though that food now has gluten in it. Medication is the same. Like, medication is the same. If you believe something about yourself, it's what your body's going to produce. But if you can actually be mindful of the symptoms, like you do habits like regulation techniques, meditation, exposure therapy, and you can feel into it. You know what I mean? So I guess you can never know between the ones that are caused, but a good way to know is stop taking the anxiety medication for a while and look at what symptoms disappear. So write down all your symptoms, write down all the ones you have when you have anxiety and you're taking medication. Don't go on medication for a week and see what symptoms disappear. And those are the symptoms you have from medication. Alright. Okay, so the next, thank you for the rose levi. Okay. Racing thoughts. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So racing thoughts, digestive issues, dizzy, palpitation, panic attacks, all things you can get from anxiety and medication. Okay, I agree with you because every time I read it, I know what's gonna happen to me. Exactly, it's like if whatever you believe is gonna happen. Like I was talking with Luke, who's on them. If some of you guys have obviously joined from the free group, and that's great. Healing with Gabe group. Luke was talking about how like some days he feels fine, and then he starts thinking, "Oh, why am I not panicky yet? Why don't I feel dizzy?" And then he starts thinking that halfway through the day, and guess what happens? He starts feeling panicky, he starts feeling dizzy, he starts thinking his symptoms into reality, right? Let me just close the blinds because the sun is blinding me. Okay. How to identify anxiety and other health issues? See, the way I like to think of anxiety, right? Your body is just a reflection of what's going on. Like, if you don't have any genetic hereditary diseases that you inherited or that you got from bad habits like smoking or eating like shit, stuff like that, your anxiety, the elevated stress level in your body, is just a reflection of your mind and how safe you actually feel in your body. So this is why when you have anxiety, it can actually cause your underlying health issues. So for me, for example, right? I had like general anxiety for like 10 years. Right? I had anxiety. I was living in fight or flight. And I kind of had some issues for a little bit, but it was bearable, right? Then when I was in university, all of the initial issues that I had came crashing down and got amplified, right? Your health issue, a lot of health issues kind of creep up on you, right? It's like a slow decline, and then you really notice a difference in quality of life when it gets to that, like as it builds up over time, right? It's like a snowball effect. So then I had colitis. I had my nose is completely blocked. I felt like I couldn't breathe. So like, imagine having a blocked nose and already having panic attacks and already having anxiety, and then just feeling even worse, right? So you don't really need to know the difference because it's likely that your anxiety has actually caused your health issues. So there's no difference. Anxiety can be the cause. Your dysregulated nervous system can be the cause. Abby, do you not believe in celiac then? Good question. I don't think I know enough about celiac. Like I have a gluten intolerance, right? And I avoided gluten because of my anxiety. And I noticed that I used to associate gluten with fear. And every time I do that and I eat gluten, I would get bloated, I would get acne, and I would get like constipation and stuff like that. But then when I started regulating myself, I ate gluten and I had no problem with it, right? Because my body wasn't in fear anymore. It doesn't think the food intolerance is a threat anymore. My body feels safe, so it can actually digest food properly. But avoiding gluten is good for you. I'm not too sure about celiac specifically because I'm not a celiac, but I do know that like the study I mentioned, Joe Dispenza talks about it, where like celiacs had a placebo where they're told they weren't gluten, and their blood, and whenever they had the placebo and they were told that this doesn't have gluten in it, even though it does, their blood produced whatever they needed to produce, and their gut produced the enzymes they needed to produce to actually digest gluten because they believed that they could eat that thing. Do you still have symptoms or are you fully recovered from it? Miss Gray, do you still have symptoms or are you fully recovered from it? It's a good question. Good question. So as I was healing, it was very up and down, right? It was like some days I felt like I was good, and other days I felt like I was back at day one. And then I would kind of have like relapses. So like I'd feel good for a week and then go back into it and then feel very dysregulated and be in fight or flight for a few days and then kind of come out of it. And then I would have kind of phases like that. I can say with confidence now, because I do a 9 to 5, I run a business and I run 2 community groups and I make content. I would not be able to do that and enjoy it if I was still like trying to recover. Because at a certain point in my journey, I didn't try to do anything else. I just tried to focus on healing and feeling better. Because I knew all the shit that I wanted to do after that comes at the foundation of my mental health, comes at the foundation of my nervous system health. And even if I start feeling anxious or if I start noticing my IBS symptoms come up, I know what to do. I know to like pause, check in with myself. What am I doing? My body's trying to speak to me. Am I listening? Am I doing the right things? And then you let yourself naturally come out of it. You let your body return to homeostasis, which is what it's called when your nervous system is balanced and so on. if that makes sense. But like, yeah, does anxiety cause depression? Cheyenne, yes. Yes. So if you kind of think of anxiety and depression like not being in the present moment, right? Anxiety is like you are so afraid of the future and you think in worst case scenario thinking and you think the worst thing's gonna happen in the next moment, right? You have tunnel vision for that. Depression is when you're like living in the past and you're like the fact that you have anxiety and the fact that it's not going away, or the fact that you have physical symptoms and the fact that it's not going away, and you just feel hopeless and you feel depressed. Like my anxiety caused my depression. I literally remember I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to do to heal my anxiety, and I just never felt better, right? I didn't feel like I was getting better. I felt like I was doing all these things and I was going nowhere. And I literally felt depressed. And I would wake up in the morning and just stay in my bed and not do the things that I like to do, like going outside, being in nature, working out. And I would just stay, I would feel hopeless. I would literally go into freeze, right? And so it can cause you depression. But if you learn, first of all, number one thing is you want to learn how to be aware of your thoughts and aware of your body and just feel your symptoms and feel your body instead of living in your head, right? When you have anxiety, you're living in your head and you're thinking about every thought and obsessing about sometimes you're obsessing with the fact that you even have anxiety, and then you start having anxiety about your anxiety, right? So in short, yes, it can cause depression. Have you ever been in... So I don't actually know what you mean by DODD. Let me try Googling. The clinic. I think that's what you mean. Is that what you mean? If I'm wrong, just please type it again. What you mean? Because I want to make sure I answer your question properly. And okay. I agree. I have such a hard time pulling myself out of physical symptoms. Holly, somatic tracking and mindfulness will do wonders. Trust me. I'm making a meditation course on it. It's actually ready today. I'm going to launch it for the Healing with Gabe group in 2 days. And everyone that's on a waiting list, I'll give them early access. But like, it's coming. It's coming. Thank you for the hearts, Levi. And the finger heart. And the gift. And the rose. Rory, hey man, your videos are really help, but I'm having loads of vision problems. Is that normal? Yes, that's really, really normal. Because if your body's staying in anxiety, you have tunnel vision, first of all. The second thing is really common to get eye floaters as well. And your eyes are part of your nervous system, right? So if you actually look up the nervous system, it's like the brain and the spinal cord, right? And your eyes are part of that, right? So a really good thing to do is relaxing. Like I go through this in my meditation course, where like you have awareness of vision and you just notice what you're seeing. And it's almost like you're noticing the air, right? You want to notice your peripheral vision. You don't want to focus in on any objects, right? This is why going outside helps relaxes your eyes and it helps calm your anxiety. So a really good thing to help your vision, right? Eye exercises. I do these every morning. Like I got laser eye surgery and I don't want my vision to go bad again. So I do eye exercises every morning. You want to get sunlight in your eyes. You want to go out into nature and look at things far away. This helps calm your brain, by the way, and by using your eyes. You just want to look slowly from the left to the right, very slowly, right? And you want to do that a few times, at least 6 times. It helps signal your brain that you're safe and activates your vagus nerve, right? Another thing you can do is you take your 2 fingers and you look forward, right? And then you can still see your 2 fingers in your vision, right? And then you slowly, bring your arms down, like making a circle, and then you trace each finger, like with both of your eyes, and that'll help relax your eyes as well. Like try that, it'll work. It's like you're noticing air. It's not like you're noticing the actual object in front of you. It's like you're noticing the air. Thank you for the heart. Thank you for the roses, Levi. Does hypnotherapy work well to reduce anxiety? Roberta, it's a good question. So studies show that it can. I'm not going to speak so much on it because I'll be honest, I haven't done hypnotherapy. And from the people, like a couple of people on the free group said they did hypnotherapy, and then it helps. And from what they said it helps when you're doing it, like you feel relaxed when you're doing it, but it's more difficult to kind of bleed into the rest of your life, if that makes sense. So this is the whole point, like with meditation. It doesn't matter if you just do it for 10 minutes. The point is that you integrate it with the rest of your life. So if you apply what you're learning in hypnotherapy to the rest of your life, I can see it working. I agree, they manifest. Yeah, 100% Levi. It's thinking of your subconscious mind, you think before you go. Exactly, and 95% of your behavior is unconscious. Like, it's according to your subconscious mind. The whole point is it's subconscious, so you're not actually aware of it. It's a subconscious belief. You see, Rochelle tried hypnotherapy, it didn't work. A few people said, like, it makes you feel calm as you're doing it, and it just doesn't work. Yeah, your brain did happen. Do you have emotional numbness? Zoe, yes, I did. So, and this can also be like linked to like depersonalization, derealization, where people kind of just feel numb to their emotions and they disassociate from their experience as a coping mechanism to deal with what's happened, right? The only thing I feel is fear. Of course, the only thing you feel is fear, is a lie. Your nervous system is in fight or flight, so your body thinks there's a threat. Your body doesn't think you're safe. So the natural thing your body thinks it should produce is fear. Now, what I would tell with your fear is like, be curious about your fear. Because the same part of your brain that processes curiosity and is the same part of the brain that processes fear. And the same part of your brain that processes gratitude is also the same part of your brain that processes fear. So being curious, like, where is this fear? Where do I feel it? What does it actually feel like? What is it trying to tell me? And then being grateful at the same time, so like, think about something you're grateful for. And also messages of safety. When you feel fear, just notice the room and notice how you're actually safe. Like, I'm sitting in my living room right now, my parents' house at the moment, and I'm actually safe. Like, I'm okay. Like, there's no one trying to attack me, there's no one trying to kill me. I'm actually safe. And like, just notice that, like, wow, like, even though I have physical symptoms, I'm actually safe. And then just give yourself a message of safety, like, hey, I'm okay, or I'm safe, or whatever happens, I'll be okay. Jasmine, I get physical symptoms when I try to leave my house. How do I manage? Okay, so it kind of sounds like agoraphobia, right? So you're afraid of leaving places other than your comfort zone. Set up a baby step. So like, how far can you leave your house before you get physical symptoms? Is it 5 minutes? Is it 30 seconds? Is it 1 mile? Whatever it is, track it, and then do exposure therapy for the step after. And before you actually do leave your house, do a nervous system regulation technique. So there's a nervous system regulation tools course. I think you might have already done it, but if you haven't, do that. Pick one of the tools and do it before you actually go outside. Levi, you're doing God's work here. I appreciate that. How about if you're afraid of sleeping at night? Okay, so if you're afraid of sleeping at night, the only way to get through it, fight that fear, is to do it. Now, there's things that can help you sleep, right? So for one is, when you wake up, don't go on your phone. That'll just put your body in an instant state of fight or flight. Go outside, go on a walk for 5 to 10 minutes, provided you can actually go outside without anxiety. If you can't, then I'm at 2 seconds. I'll be done in like a few minutes. Sorry guys, mom's home. Jack to go pick up the car somewhere, so I do have to go in a few minutes. But like, basically, a couple of things that'll help you sleep, for example. So go outside. You don't have to walk if that makes you scared. Just sit in your back garden. Get sunlight in your eyes. It'll activate nerves in your eyes. That activates your circadian rhythm, and just let your body know, hey, after 16 hours, we're supposed to sleep. Light is now, be awake now, right? Yoga Nidra, body scan meditations, non-sleep deep rest, all of this will help you going to sleep at night. And so will meditation, right? You want to be mindful of your thoughts and your body as you wind down to sleep. And if you get really good at meditation, you actually start lucid dreaming, where you're kind of aware that you're dreaming. But we can get into that in a different like call. Okay. More questions. Okay, well, there's less questions. Amazing. Right, I'm all recovered from anxiety. I'm doing exposure therapy. Amazing, Kim. Amazing. Look, glad you're doing it too. What in the universal credit is going on here? People who have anxiety, that's what's going on. It is difficult, but we have to fight this together. 100%. I love this. Thank you. Hello, Brev. Hello. I'm doing good. And thank you, Kimmy, for saying my videos are inspirational. It's very hot here today too. Which is weird. Doing things I cannot do. That's good, look. That's good. And the main thing is to like track and create evidence of you doing it. Because when you're scared to do something, but you have evidence that you've done it before, you're more likely to take action. Meditation is a big part of my religion, which brings my mind so much peace along with that. I'm glad. Whatever works. As long as you set up time and an intention to sit still and just be curious about how you actually feel and just pause, you're going to teach your body that you're actually safe. I like you guys supporting each other as well. It's nice. Go let. Leave my house sometimes out. You should give me 5 minutes. So you should do a Zoom call where we can all join and ask questions. 100%. So if you guys prefer, like you don't do TikTok live and then you prefer like on call. So Rochelle, like funny thing you said that. So I'm in the process of, it's kind of built already. I'm gonna launch in a few days. But basically in that community, everyone who joins, it'll be weekly group calls, right? So it won't be like this, you actually are on camera with me, and it gives everyone a chance to ask their specific questions, and then you can relate, and then also it's like reflection and goal setting for exposure therapy or the helpful habit for the next week, right? So if that sounds cool, let me know. Thank you for the follow, guys. Okay.
Comment മുഴുവൻ വായിച്ച് കമന്റ് പറയാനാണെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ വഴിയോ ഞാൻ ഡ്രസ് മാറിയതാ.
Okay, awesome. It was really hard. I had to turn back and got stuck in the middle of the train. I felt, and that's okay. That's okay. Like you go through situations where you feel afraid and then you feel like you're back at day zero, and comma. That's okay. That happens, right? Jasmine, Gabe, come back later. Mom is waiting. Yeah, no, I have an Indian mom. She's like, Gabe, do this. Basically, my car, and this is why I have to go in a few minutes, guys. But basically, my car is like broken, sort of. So I went to the mechanic, and then I need to get it back today because I need to go collect someone at like 8. So it's like everything's such in a tight schedule. So my mom was like, you need to go now. Are you guys in the UK? I'm in the UK. Jasmine, no, it's Rochelle that asked them. My bad. Are you guys in the UK? Well, I'm in the UK. Alright. Amazing. Alright. Struggling with mental health for the last 8 months with your videos of health. Thank you. That's why I make them. I don't get any money from TikTok, right? I just make it to help you guys. I wish I was in the UK. That's okay. Like the call, it's different because like this is why the live I put it in the evening. So those of you in Canada or the US or different parts of the world, you guys can join. And so will the Zoom, the like Google Meets calls on the other group. It'll be in the evening, so you guys can join as well. And what I'm pretty much gonna do with everyone that joins our group, I'm gonna run another poll on like what time and what day can most people do, so that like everyone can join. Alright guys, I really have to go now. It was amazing to talk to you guys, and I will be doing the same time next week. Alright? And this is recorded as well, so I'll post in the Healing with Gabe group. And any of you guys that are not in that group, you're missing out, so go join. Alright, peace.